在第二课，我们要学习，把怎么把东西放在不同的地方。我们的生词，第一是我们的语法 existential sentences，然后三个动词：第一摆，第二挂，第三靠。All right. So an existential sentence is a specific structure that's used to describe the existence, thus existential, the existence of an object in a specific place. And it's kind of like if I say on the desk there is a pen, or on the desk is lying a pen. And that's kind of the structure of an existential sentence. It's used to describe locations and objects in locations. And it's very common, like when you're trying to describe, for example, like a room. Like this is why we're kind of learning it in this level. So 在一个房间里，在公寓里，你的家具在哪里？ And you could say that, you could use a normal structure, like I'd say, 书在桌子上。But instead, we're going to use a structure, on the table is lying a book. And that's just a common way to express the location of objects in Chinese. And we're going to practice it. So an existential sentence, you can use different kinds of verbs with an existential sentence. Right? You can say yo, right? There is a book. But you can also use actions like that express bodily gestures, and it gives a more specific meaning to the existential sentence. And I'm not going to go into detail about all the different verbs that you can use. And you can kind of look on Quizlet or in the textbook for more information. But things like 拿, 站, 坐, 躺, 放, or 摆 are all kind of bodily gesture verbs that you can use to express where an object is and how it is being in that location. Generally speaking, we're going to focus on three major verbs for our purposes. Right? The first is 摆, to put or place something. And you can actually translate more like lying somewhere, by something. It's like usually like if something's lying on a table, you would use 摆. Second is 挂. Something's hanging, like you're hanging clothes from a closet. You'd use that verb, 挂. 靠, I'm leaning against something. Right? Let's say leaning against the bed is a bookshelf. That would be an example of 靠. So the structure of an existential sentence is you have the place word or phrase. So not the thing. Like if I say the book is on the table, the place word is table. So in this location, and then the verb, there is lying, right? Or there is being placed. And then you'd have a numeral measure like one book. Okay, so something like 桌子. Probably 上, right? And on top of the desk. 桌子上摆着一本书. Okay, so the 着 here, the 着 functions kind of as we've learned this before as an aspect particle, or indicates an action or state in progress. It's still this function here. It's kind of used like the ing ending. So again, on the book is lying. On the desk is lying a book. Right. So with 摆, 挂, and 靠, there are specific. You can kind of break down that general existential sentence structure into specific structures you're using with 摆 and 挂 and 靠. 摆 means noun is being placed at a location. 挂 means noun is hanging from a location. And 靠 means noun is leaning against a location. Okay, let's look at some examples. So with 摆, right? 摆. It's very similar to 放 as a kind of more neat connotation. Again, you can translate it as lying somewhere or being placed somewhere. So I can say, for example, 椅子旁边摆着一个书架. So the location is the chair. And so what is next to the location is actually next to the whole location here is the phrase is 椅子旁边. So next to the chair, next to the chair, 摆着 is being placed 一个书架, one bookshelf. So to translate it literally, next to the chair is lying one bookshelf, right? And then 这 here is an ing verb, so it's something that you describe something that's currently happening, right? So this is the current configuration of this chair and this bookshelf. This is true right now. You're describing something that you see right now, or that you know about right now. With 挂, it means to hang or suspend. So I can say 衣柜. 衣柜 means closet, word we'll learn later. 衣柜上, so like on top of the closet. 挂着 is hanging 很多衣服, a lot of clothes. With 靠, you can say 门旁边. This is the location phrase, 门 is door. So like next to the door, what's next to the door? 靠着 is leaning 两个书架, two bookshelves. Let's look at some more examples. Well, let's kind of review those examples we just talked about. 椅子, here we go. 旁边摆着一个书架. So this is the location here, and then what's next to the location is specifically next to the chair. So next to the chair, what's next to the chair? 摆着一个书架 is placed a bookshelf. Let's look at this one. 衣柜 closet. And this is the closet here. Closet 上, so on top of the closet, this location phrase, this place phrase. On top of the closet is hanging 挂着很多衣服. And here are some more examples of existential sentences with a variety of different verbs, such as 是 and 有. 桌子上是3支笔. 桌子的旁边是衣柜. 床前有一把椅子. 书架上摆着3张照片. 那个男孩子手里拿了一个小飞机. 桌子上有一支笔, 一份报纸, 一份报和一些纸. So in terms of 有 and we're not going to focus on 有 and 不 as existential sentence verbs, but I'll talk about them briefly right now. 有 and 是 both mean kind of is or have, but they're used a little bit differently. So 是 is used to describe a singular object. And 有 usually refers to multiple objects. And so you'd use them in those different contexts. For example, this sentence. 桌子上是3支笔. So on the desk, there are these singular, there are 3 pencils, but it's like a singular kind of concept. Like there's nothing else on the desk, probably. There are just 3 pencils on the desk. It's kind of a focused, this is what's on the desk. 桌子上是3支笔. But with 有, this is not necessarily like whatever is mentioned on top of the desk is not necessarily a complete inventory of all the things that could. So on the desk are probably a lot of things, and then you're just going to name a couple of them. 桌子上有一支笔, 一份报和一些纸. So anytime you're going to mention multiple things, you're going to different things, right? Like not just like 3 pencils, but 3 pencils and a newspaper. In a specific place, you're going to mention things that you're only missing one thing, but it's implied that there are more things in the location. You can use 有. But generally, we're not going to really focus on 是 and 有. The 3 verbs that we just used, 摆, 挂, and 靠, can kind of cover all the general usages of the existential sentences. Generally speaking, by is very general, right? Anytime something's placed somewhere, is lying somewhere, you can use by. Specifically, you want to use gua if something's hanging, right? Something's hanging from a closet. That's the only situation you would use it. And you would use kao if something's leaning against something else, or like right next to, right, flush with something else. So by is a more general existential sentence verb, and then gua and kao are a little bit more specific. All right. Thanks for listening to that long grammar explanation. I hope that was helpful to you. 谢谢大家的收听。